Very good afternoon, friends. I hope you all are doing good. And by this time, you must have checked your answer key of the general ability test that has been notified by the Nift in their official website. However, if you have been following us, you must have noted that we had already uploaded the answer key of the booklet series R on the very next day of the Nift exam. Friend, the post release of this answer key, I have been getting many queries from the students, and of course, they are anxious and curious to know about the status of their marks they have scored, how much helpful it is to them, and what is the way ahead with these marks they can expect your final ranking in the NIFT exam. Now, primarily, there are four kind of questions that is being asked by the student. The first important question is, sir, is this mark sufficient enough for me to clear the NIFT first phase? Second, sir, what should have been a very good score in general ability test for me to get a good ranking NIFT? Third important, sir, what would be the cutoff of the NIFT 2020? So friends, before discussing all this point, I would like to congratulate NIFT for the way they have brought a positive step and a positive approach which is very relevant of giving the question paper of the general ability test to the student after the examination, and they have quickly released the answer key also. Now this will definitely help them to see their answer, to realize where they stand. So friends, now coming to your question. First point, sir, is this marks a very sufficient mark for me to clear the NIFT first phase? Now friend, if you have been following us, in my last video, I'll not say last video, in my video wherein I was talking about the winning leap, which was all about how you approach your general ability test, I have very categorically mentioned that scoring 65 marks in NIFT is all about being very clear, being very smart, very good in time management, and you can easily score around 65 marks in NIFT aptitude test or the general ability test. And to supplement that, if I have been talking to the student and I have figured it out that many of the students, they have scored marks in the general ability test in the range of around 55 to 60 marks. Post after your negative marking. I think that difference in 4-5 marks which I had suggested to the student is because one of the passages of English was little bit tough. It was a lengthier part. Again, nevertheless. So if you say you are scoring around 55 to 60 marks in the general ability test. Now 55 marks or 60 marks will normally means around 16 to 17 marks, 16, 17 or 18. I'll say 55 to 60 में मतलब 17 marks में ले लेता हूँ, तो around 17 marks out of 30 in the general ability test. Now which I say generally is a good score. Now why I'm saying it's a good score? Because now look at the other part. Let's talk about the creative ability test. Now if in the creative ability test you are expecting around say 55 to 60 marks in the creative ability test. So this 55 to 60 marks, say 55 marks means around 27 marks, right? So 27 out of 50. So 27 plus 17 gives you 44, right? So if you look at this 44 score and if you compare with the cutoff marks of the last year the cutoff marks was 43 marks for the general category students. So if you look by the standard, you are very much qualified. So that means if your average score is around 16 to 17 out of 30 in the general ability test, you have to ensure that your marks in the creative ability in the creative aptitude test should be around 55 to 60 marks. So guys, this is the one thing, right? Second important point, sir, what would have been a very good score in general ability test? Now friends, there are students who have scored 78 also, 75 also, 70 also, 72 also. So if you say if some student is scoring around say 70 marks, so which means normally 24 marks out of 30. So that means even for the student, he or she should score around say 45 marks in the creative ability test, or 40 to 45 marks in the creative ability test for him or her to get clear in the first phase of the NIFT exam as compared to the cutoff of the last year, right? So this what I have talked about a very good score. So अगर आप देखोगे एक स्टूडेंट है जो 70 स्कोर कर रहा है, आपने स्कोर कर रहा है 55 और 60 आपने स्कोर किया है. So there's a gap of how many marks? Almost there's a gap of around 12 marks. But इसका इम्पैक्ट बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है. इम्पैक्ट ज़्यादा है आपका क्रिएटिव एबिलिटी टेस्ट में, राइट. दैट मीन्स आपका जो स्टूडेंट है वो अगर वो 45 भी स्कोर कर रहा है इन द क्रिएटिव एबिलिटी टेस्ट and with a good score in general ability test, he would have qualified the first phase. But for the student who are on the range of 55 or 60 marks in the general ability test, they need to score at least around 55 to 60 marks even in the creative ability test to clear the first phase of the exam. Right? Now, second important point, sir, what is a very good score in the first phase to get a good ranking in the Nift is the question most of the students have asked me. Now, if I do analysis of the last few year, okay, pattern through which the student have got rank, because I have seen students with rank of All India rank 1 also, All India rank 13 also, All India rank 15 also, 6 also, 23 also, 45 also. So starting from rank 1 to I have seen student up to rank 5000 also. So I can differentiate you, I can tell you what would have been the marks that would have been required to give you a good ranking. So when I say good ranking, I mean to say a ranking of around say 200, maximum to 200. Now what I found that the student who have score around 55 to 56, around say 50 on a bracket of say 55 to 58 or 60 marks. Now these are the students who are on the brink of that getting the top rankings in the Nift exam, of course post after their situation test. So that means आप थोड़ा सा evaluate करें अपने आप को. क्या evaluate करना है आपने कि आपका कैट का मार्क्स कितना आ सकता है अभी, आपने गैट में कितना स्कोर किया है अभी. So I think if you combine them together and with a rough idea of what is the near about marks you are getting in the final of GAT and CAT, that will decide your, of course, final ranking post your situation test. But इसमें एक और चीज़ आपको ध्यान देना है that the NIFT never, till last 2 years, NIFT has never given you the marks that you have scored in the first phase. That marks is given only after the final exam of situation test when your ranking is released, which is again a good thing, right? Fourth important thing is, sir, what would have been the cutoff? What will be the cutoff of the NIFT 2020? Now, friends, again, I can just speak out of analysis. I cannot predict it, but on the basis of analysis, I have found that over a period of time, the cutoff of NIFT have almost been static. So when I say static, I mean a minor deviation, not a major deviation. Now it hasn't happened that the cutoff has suddenly went to 60 or to 70. Right? Yes, it has happened that if the cutoff is 39, it has moved to 40. Now, if it is 40, it has moved to 42 also. Right? So there's nothing very static deviation in the cutoff of the NIFT first phase. So going by the same principle, I feel that the cutoff of 2020 will be par with the cutoff of the NIFT 2019. Maybe minor deviation of 1 or 2 marks, or say 3 marks, but I don't find it that much deviation this year because of the impact of the negative marking that is there this year. So with that negative marking, I think that negative marking will weigh down that excess that would have been normally moved up. So I think anything score around say 44, 43, 44 or 45 maximum would be the cutoff, and I am talking about general category. I am not talking about other category people. Yes, if you want to know that, I can make a different video, and for the student of the other category, I will explain you in detail about this cutoff criteria in the NIFT. So I think, friends, these are the things that you wanted to know. So just keep your finger crossed, wait for your creative ability test result out, and I hope that you must be feeling motivated, or some of the student will we say, okay, they are not getting the marks that they did expect, but nothing to be get demotivated, because majority, the most of the impact in the final marks, which I'll say, will be created by your creative ability test. So keep your finger crossed, and I hope to see you again. Till that time, thank you.